Thank you everyone for being here. My goodness, I can just feel the buzz and the energy in the room. It is such an incredible experience to be gathered with the supporters of choice, people who are global citizens, and especially on this day, World Water Day, people who want to make a difference when it comes to the water crisis. We're gathered here with friends, with longtime supporters, and with new individuals, and a lot of folks from our corporate partners as well. This is a little bit of a different breakfast than we've done if you've been to breakfast events before. So we're excited to try something new, and we are very grateful for our gracious host, dōTERRA, and the team that is here for allowing us to be. This is our 16th annual Breakfast of Humanitarians, if you can believe it. And as I mentioned, it's World Water Day. I have a question for you. This morning, when you woke up, how far did you go to get clean water? Did it take you 30 steps to get to maybe your kitchen? Did it take you 20 steps maybe to your bathroom? Maybe for some of us, we didn't even take a single step. We have water on our bedside table in a Stanley cup. This reality that we enjoy, access to safe, clean water, it's so ordinary, it's so available, it's so easy. But that's not the case for 1/4 of the Earth's population that lives without safe water. Families and parents and children, they wake up every morning without clean water, let alone within 30 steps of them. So you and I, we have something that 2 billion people don't. It's heartbreaking. It's overwhelming. And ultimately, it's unacceptable. Given that you're here this morning on World Water Day, I'm guessing that you feel that way too. And you choose not to accept it. You choose to do something about it. In our 4 decades of impact, Choice Humanitarian has shown that we don't accept the status quo. Our mission is to disrupt global poverty. We change lives, and we do that through community-led projects in 7 countries. Our global team is comprised of 80 staff members led by our passionate country directors. These teams work together with and through rural communities to execute sustainable projects that expand opportunities and build futures. Safe water is a core component of all areas of focus that we do. That includes health and education, economic development, agriculture, and quality of life. So this is why World Water Day matters. This is an annual day observed by the United Nations. The UN, global agencies, and NGOs and nonprofits around the world, like Choice Humanitarian, celebrate both the impact of water and the action needed to address the water crisis. And so whether you're a longtime supporter of Choice or newly discovering us today, thank you for being here. You are part of a ripple effect of positive change. And we're excited to share with you how Choice, together with donors, partners, and the rural communities that we serve, are disrupting global poverty and increasing access to safe water. We'd like to recognize our outstanding sponsors who have helped us this morning. As mentioned, dōTERRA and the Healing Hands Foundation, who are sharing their beautiful campus with us. They're also our food sponsor and have provided oils on the chairs for each of you. Diamond Event and Tent, who have also provided supplies for us for our event today, and ASEA Advancing Life. And our village sponsor, Lorraine Creative, who is our photography for today. We also have a whole host of individual volunteers, board members, and junior board members who have helped make today happen. So thank you. Please give an applause. We have an inspiring program for you today. First, you'll hear from Kirk Jowers, the CEO of dōTERRA. We're honored to have him joining us today. Then we'll hear from Misty, the Vice President of Corporate Relations and Philanthropy for dōTERRA. Following Misty, Lisa and Shiloh Peterson, a mother-daughter duo, will share about their experience on a Choice expedition to Mexico. After the Petersons, we'll be proud to present the 2024 Corporate Impact Award to U.S. Synthetic. Our board chair, Teresa Larsen, will present the award to Eric Pope, Vice President of Operations at U.S. Synthetic. And then lastly, Riley Greenwood, Director of Social Innovation for Choice, will share with you how you can be part of a ripple effect for World Water Day. In fact, I'd like to share a little bit of that with you right now by introducing you to Umgandi. Umgandi lives in Peku, a rural community in South Kenya. He has lived there his whole life, and he is one of those 2 billion people in the world who doesn't have access to safe water. Umgandi, who's also on your program, there's a photograph of him there as well, he gathers his daily water from this watering hole. In Peku, there are 2 dams. One contains dirty, muddy, bacteria-filled water. The other is completely bone dry. When these water sources are empty, community members must trek for 3 to 4 hours to reach the next nearest water source. 3 to 4 hours versus the 30 steps to my kitchen. For Umgandi and the 5,000 people around Peku, the water crisis is very real. And it will continue to be real until something disrupts it, until someone starts a ripple effect. You'll get to learn more about Umgandi and the community of Peku a little bit later. But first, I'm very excited for you to hear from Kirk and dōTERRA, who are shining examples of the ripple effect of corporate philanthropy. The number of lives they've impacted through their partnership with Choice Humanitarian is truly extraordinary, and I can't wait for you to hear more. So please help me welcome Kirk.
Thank you. Wow, this is a huge honor for me. I love Choice. I first got to know Choice through James Mayfield. See here? There he is, the man. The man. My favorite, and he knows this because I've told him, my favorite professor I ever had at the University of Utah, 1991, is when I first met Professor Mayfield, and he taught me a lot of principles that I have carried my entire life. We came back together in 2005 when I returned from Washington, D.C. to work at the Hinckley Institute of Politics at the University of Utah, as well as some other things. We started some programs at the Hinckley Institute together where we were doing internships, not just with members of Congress and the governor and all those kind of more traditional internships, but started doing humanitarian internships and ended up doing them in 69 different countries. And Choice was a massive, massive part of that. I remember him in my office talking about his plans for Nepal, which seemed breathtaking, and it was. So anyway, when they said there was this breakfast and Choice, first question is Professor Mayfield going to be there? Because I will take every chance I get to say hi to a man who changed my life and has changed hundreds of thousands of lives. So thank you. Yeah, it was such an honor. dōTERRA's time with Choice started in 2014, which corresponds with the first time I met anyone who was from dōTERRA. The only person, someone who I knew was with dōTERRA, it turned out the only person in the entire company at that point who I had known before I heard of dōTERRA was Tim Ballantiner, who had come up to the University of Utah and has been so integral to Choice, but then also is really the co-impact sourcing story here at dōTERRA. We have a company full of people who want to help heal the world, to change the world, to make impacts. Tim actually knows how to do it, and he's been teaching us and bringing us along, and grateful for him. When I was thinking about making the move, yeah, I got to talk to him. when I was thinking about making the move from my DC law firm and the University of Utah, giving that all up for this essential oil company, I met with Tim for about 3 hours. I thought co-impact sourcing was probably phenomenal marketing, but you know, I worked with politicians most of my life, so I know a good marketing story when I see it, and I thought it was probably impossible that it was real. But there's no one more sincere and authentic than Tim, and he told me about it, and then and I believed him because I asked him questions and pushed him for 3 hours. But what's really going on? And that was a huge part of my decision to start at dōTERRA, give up my old life and come here, and that I felt like we could make a massive difference. And then I got to see that firsthand not long after I started, when I went to Guatemala and brought my wife and a few daughters, I think 2 of my daughters, maybe all 3 of my daughters, I don't know. A lot of my family, we went there and with Tim and our then CEO and founder, David Sterling, and I saw firsthand the incredible impact that dōTERRA plus Choice could make on some wonderful, beautiful people who still impact me from there. Speaking of Nepal, we source our wintergreen there. We've been able to change a lot of mostly women's lives through what we do there. Earthquakes, devastating earthquakes hit because we have those relationships, because we're on the ground, because we know Choice and we know the people from Nepal. We were the first private company in after those devastating earthquakes. And so, thank you. So anyway, I could go on forever about Choice and Professor Mayfield, Tim Valentiner, and so many of you. It's been fun to see so many people that I've known and met throughout my career. I'm grateful for each of you. You're willing to devote so much of your life and your resources to change other people's lives. That's not common. It's not as common, I think, as it used to be. And to have this as a centralizing point for your desire to help people who need help, but not just to give them that one fish, but to teach them how to fish, to spend your time with them, to let your heart go there, and so that it's not a one-time deal or a few bucks before Christmas when you're feeling a little more guilty or sensitive or whatever it is. All of that's good, but for you to have this sustained commitment is what changes the world. And dōTERRA is committed to keeping that sustained commitment as well. We are grateful for an amazing partner like Choice, who is so single-minded. We have to have a few minds at dōTERRA to succeed on all different levels, and Choice has been an invaluable partner since 2014 in helping us never lose that focus of what's most important. I'm grateful now to turn our time over to Misty Bond, our VP of Corporate Communications and Philanthropy. I've been able to work closely with Misty since she started here, which is unique for me because I wasn't with dōTERRA for the last 2 years. So, but she is someone I just admire a lot, and it was absolutely the right decision to put her here. Her heart is amazing, and she will put a little more detail of the work we've been doing with Choice. And Misty, come on up.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you. Thanks for making the trip down to Pleasant Grove.
Thanks so much, Kirk. He is so great to have here as our new CEO of dōTERRA. So great to be here. And really want to take a moment to thank our team at dōTERRA for putting all this on for us today. I'm going to call them out, and they're going to not like me for this, but that's okay. Kelsey Lund, Krista Numbers, Kaylee DeBell, and Hillary Slaughter for all their hard work in getting everything arranged. putting these great cards here. We've got a QR code on the back we'd love for you to take a look at. Just talks about more of our water projects, so if you'd like more information. And then you also get some oil to take home with you as well. So thanks to them for all that work. What a pleasure it is for me to be here today. I'm getting to know some of you for the first time, and so I'm hoping I get to meet even more of you as the months and the years progress. But I've heard about Choice with my work since I've been with dōTERRA, and just so impressed by this amazing organization. I just got to meet Mr. Mayfield, Professor Mayfield today, and what a great man he is. I can tell the legacy is going to carry on far past anything that we do here. So thanks to all of his great efforts. So thank you so much. Well, as Kirk mentioned, we have been partnered with Choice since 2014, and we're here to celebrate that commitment to water stewardship and the empowerment of communities worldwide. And I'm reminded of the profound impact we can achieve when we unite under a common purpose. And at the heart of our discussion is the ripple effect that Sara was discussing. And overseeing the Healing Hands Foundation at dōTERRA is, I know, going to be one of my most cherished positions of my life. Just over the past couple of months that I've been able to really dive into what we've been doing on the Healing Hands Foundation, I'm just elated that we get to work with such an impressive NGO as Choice. We never have to worry. We know that our funds are going exactly where they're intended to be, and our responsibility extends far beyond our essential oils. We're committed to fostering positive change, enriching lives, and cultivating self-reliance in communities worldwide. And the term co-impact sourcing is unique to dōTERRA, like what we were talking about. Tim Valentiner helped us really coin that term. So we really appreciate all of his efforts to making this possible. It seeks to develop long-term, mutually beneficial supplier partnerships while supporting jobs and reliable income in underdeveloped areas where we source essential oils, which we are sourcing in about 45 different countries. So if you can imagine, most of those are in underserved populations. And the dōTERRA Healing Hands Foundation was really created to support these communities. And we're so excited that we get to partner with Choice to do that. So Choice was actually our very first co-impact sourcing partner. And we sought to work with an NGO that was established, that could support our communities and our sourcing locations. And after beginning this journey with them 10 years ago, they have proven to be our most trusted, valuable partner time and time again. Each year they offer community projects that uplift, that impact vast numbers of individuals sustainably. They complete each project on time and within budget, and provide full transparency throughout the entire process. And for us, that's so important that we have that transparency that we can relay back to our donors, who are mostly made up of our wellness advocates, who are our independent distributors. They use this information to spread the word about dōTERRA and Choice Humanitarian in so many different ways. And through our independent distributors, they also help us participate at our annual conventions and through our co-impact sourcing trips. And as of 2024, dōTERRA has participated in 27 co-impact sourcing trips with hundreds of wellness advocates and senior leaders. And if you've been on one of these expeditions, you know firsthand the opportunities that our wellness advocates have to interact with individuals in our sourcing communities and in a meaningful ways. So we're so excited that we have 27 already in our roster, and we'd like to keep adding more to that. So congratulations there. Okay, well, why we're here today is for World Water Day. So we wanted to just highlight some of our water projects. So in Haiti, in collaboration with partners like Water for Life and Hydro Diffusion Haiti, dōTERRA's Healing Hands Foundation has spearheaded impactful water efforts in Haiti, striving to alleviate water scarcity and enhance community well-being. Through the diligent work of the foundation, several wells have been drilled and equipped with solid concrete well houses to ensure their protection and longevity against strong hurricanes. These efforts go beyond mere provision of water. They contribute to improved sanitation and health outcomes for local communities, empowering individuals with the fundamental resources necessary for sustainable living. dōTERRA's commitment to making a difference in Haiti underscores its dedication to social responsibility and community empowerment on a global scale. Next, we'd like to talk about Kenya. Our foundation was involved in various water projects here, aiming to address the critical issue of water scarcity and lack of access to clean water. Through this partnership, dōTERRA implemented initiatives such as drilling wells, installing water purification systems, and establishing sustainable water sources. These projects not only provide essential hydration, but also contribute to improved sanitation and overall community health. By prioritizing water accessibility and sustainability, dōTERRA's efforts in Kenya demonstrate a commitment to making a tangible difference in the lives of those in need while promoting long-term community development and well-being. Another area is Guatemala. And when 20 community-led leaders in the Polochic Valley of Guatemala were asked what their community's greatest needs were, they responded unanimously that that families needed improved water systems. So in 2017, in partnership with Choice, we supported a community in the cardamom-producing mountains of central Guatemala, providing a water system where they previously had no access to clean water. And community members were required to walk at least 2 miles to reach a water source. So we were so happy we could provide that to them. And then also in 2017, when the volcano erupted, dōTERRA Healing Hands stepped in along with our sourcing partner, Alexia, to bring clean water back to almost 1,000 families in the El Rodeo community. With access to clean potable water for these communities in Guatemala, individuals' lives have definitely been changed. And then in Nepal, with its breathtaking vistas and rich cultural heritage, it's grappled with water scarcity exacerbated by geographical constraints and social economic disparities. In collaboration with indigenous communities, grassroots organizations, the Nepalese government, local NGOs, including Fair Oils and Fundifix, dōTERRA Healing Hands spearheaded initiatives to build water infrastructure such as wells and irrigation systems. And these efforts not only ensured access to clean water, but also enhanced agricultural productivity in our sourcing areas and livelihood opportunities, transforming lives and landscapes alike. We'd like to share this video with you now.
We actually had a dedication of a water project that we're working on this morning. This water project will allow another 400 to 500 families to have access to clean drinking water. Not only that, but they'll be able to use this water to water all of the crops and all of their plants that they are growing here. The trench is actually quite a long ways, close to a mile long, that they'll have to dig that trench to get the water here, and then it'll gravity feed down into the village. As we're working with them hand in hand, it's just amazing to feel the love that we share. Even though these people live on the other side of the world, it's like we're brothers and sisters working hand in hand, digging trenches, moving rocks for this water project.
Great, thank you. So as you can see, these projects not only transform the lives of those we're serving, but also those who are doing the serving. I often wonder who gets more out of these projects. we're just so grateful our wellness advocates are able to go on these expeditions and really get to the heart of helping and supporting these important individuals. In these 4 countries, we were able to support, in Kenya, 84,000 total individuals with 42,000 people with clean water. So we're thrilled that we were able to help that many people there. In Haiti, 20,000 total individuals were supported, and clean water was given to 13,680 individuals. In Nepal, 232,000 individuals were supported, and 21,000 people were supported with clean water. And in Guatemala, 80,000 total individuals supported, with 4,500 people getting access to clean water. So we're so grateful that we have the opportunity to help that many people. As I was saying, we're so grateful we have the opportunity to work with Choice and that we can entrust them with our charitable funds. With $600,000 actually going to Choice projects in Guatemala and another $3.5 million in Nepal, dōTERRA Healing Hands has donated over $4 million to various projects ranging from schools to hospitals to construction equipment and water supplies. So we want to thank our wellness advocates and our donors for helping us meet this goal. And we plan to do much more. Central to our endeavors in the guiding principle of empowerment, the belief that every individual possesses inherent strengths and capabilities that, when nurtured and supported, can unleash a ripple effect of positive change. At dōTERRA Healing Hands, we are not merely donors or benefactors. We are collaborators, mentors, and champions of self-reliance. Our mission is not only to provide aid, but to inspire and empower others to become agents of their own destiny. So on this World Water Day, let us reaffirm our shared commitment to water stewardship, community empowerment, and the transformative power of compassion. And together with organizations like Choice, we have the power to turn the tide of adversity into a sea of opportunity, where every drop of water becomes a symbol of hope, resilience, and renewal. Thank you for your unwavering dedication, your boundless compassion, and your relentless pursuit of a better world. Together, let us continue to be the change we want to see in the world. Thank you.
Hi, I'm happy to be with you here today. I'm Shiloh Peterson. I am 16 and a junior at Olympus High School. I'm the oldest of 4 sisters and work at Amy Boutique. I'm also the captain of the JV lacrosse team and serve as a secretary on the Choice Junior Board.
Good morning. It's so lovely to be here with all of you amazing people. I have the privilege of being Shiloh's mom. I'm married to Chris Peterson, who's a mural artist, and I'm also the VP of Sales for 97th Floor, a digital marketing agency just up the road. In partnership with Bethany Jones, we have the opportunity to mentor Shiloh and the rest of the junior board members. And we are just in awe of their dedication to spending time. A lot of teenagers think about things outside of their busy world, and these kids show up and they serve, and it's incredible.
The purpose of the Awesome Junior Board is to build the next generation of humanitarians through service, education, and global awareness. We meet often and plan and organize fundraisers, support Choice events like this one, and create opportunities to share the mission of Choice to our friends and family. The Choice Junior Board has teams from Utah County up to Cache County. This year, our board has 30 kids. We are divided into subcommittees focused on events, fundraising, and social media and tech. The past year, members of the Choice Junior Board traveled on a Choice expedition to Santa Rosa, Mexico, to serve the remote communities who are in serious need of sustainable systems for collecting and storing clean water. While we were in Mexico, we worked on 3 projects. 2 of them focused on water storage, and the 3rd was building beehives.
When we think about the need of water around the world, we often think of delivering running water to those who don't have it, or more efficient agricultural practices or digging wells. One aspect that is often overlooked is the need to navigate increasing water scarcity, particularly in remote geographic regions of the world. The communities Choice serves in central Mexico typically get access to running water for 3 hours once every 15 days. The shortage of water leaves families in a tremendous need to store and reuse the very finite amount they receive each month. Choice provides a variety of simple solutions to address these challenges using simple, locally sourced materials. Ferro cement is a mixture of cement, concrete, and metal mesh that is very resilient, strong, and has a variety of applications. The large cylinders are called cisterns, which are used to store between 15 to 2,500 gallons of water. These are much more durable than the traditional plastic cisterns, which have a very, very short lifespan. Cisterns like these last much longer, they keep the water cooler, and they can store a lot more water than the plastic ones. Additionally, they cost about a quarter of the price of plastic ones. They take up less space due to a narrower footprint and are able to be patched and repaired in case of any cracks or damage. And the best part, they can be built by teenagers. The water filters we build are designed to filter gray water for non-drinking uses. So what you're seeing there is what I'm talking about for non-drinking uses, like dishwashing and laundry, or the watering of gardens and trees. The gray or dirty water is poured into one of the smaller squares and then is gravity filtered through a series of gravel, broken glass, charcoal, and sand that removes the debris and cleans the water. This can extend the life cycle of the limited water beyond a single use. Doing this also then allows them to waste less of their clean drinking water when it is not necessary, and the gray water can be passed through the system twice before it is no longer usable.
The impact this has on the community is enormous. While we were in Mexico, one thing that stuck out with me was each day as we walked from where we slept to the main gathering area in the village, we saw a 6-year-old boy. He's the same age as my youngest sister. He was on a donkey with 2 to 4 buckets hanging off the back. He rode a far distance to gather water for his family. He filled his buckets from his dirty water well. Because of Choice, these small villages are learning to build these systems themselves and are creating sustainable ways to make their lives better and allow children like this sweet boy to be kids and have safe drinking water.
As we prepared the junior board members for our trip to Mexico, we studied Spanish. We learned about the communities we would be in and the best way to serve them. As we prepared, the mindset I had was that of a chaperone. I was going to make sure these kids were safe, that they worked hard, and they had a life-changing experience. I hadn't thought much about the impact it would have on me beyond that. 24 hours into this journey, my lens shifted. I've been to many parts of the world and thought I knew what poverty looked like, and I was prepared. I was wrong. It was shocking to me that just a few hours outside of Mexico City, there were beautiful people, mothers, children, widows, who genuinely have no way to offer their kids a bath or a clean drink of water. As a mother of 4 daughters, the gravity of this struck my core at a level that words cannot describe. Shiloh and I did all we could that week in the way of service, either physically building things, painting the schoolyard, or building friendship within the community. Leaving felt strange. The feelings of guilt, sadness, and frustration around wanting to do more sank deep in my soul. When I came home and started living my normal life, I felt pulled to figure out a way to keep serving and trying to have an impact in whatever way I could. Overseeing the junior board is a small way that I can help, as well as sharing the mission of Choice to anyone who will listen and to help people see that we really can disrupt global poverty.
Jeez, when mom cries, I cry. Having this experience of going on an expedition with my mom was amazing. As a family, we have already talked about how we can all do an expedition together in this coming year. My hope for us on this World Water Day is to slow down enough to notice that drink of water you will take in the next few minutes and ponder. Is this not a fundamental right of every human being, access to clean water? And then decide what you will do to help solve this problem. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Teresa Larsen, and I serve as Choice's current board chair. This is a departure for us, this breakfast. It's in a different county, and to see that it's standing room only really warms my heart. So thank you so much for being here. Over more than our 40-year history, Choice Humanitarian has been privileged to work with several wonderful corporate partners, such as dōTERRA. You've heard a lot about dōTERRA. The support these businesses provide is vital to our work and integral to our ability to achieve our mission. We are blessed by their generosity, we're inspired by their hard work and examples, and more effective because of what we've learned from them and continue to learn. Each of these corporate partners is unique and engages with us in their very own way. But what all the corporate partners have in common is their commitment to disrupting global poverty. These partners invest in opportunities that uplift and inspire their employees and others, including corporate expeditions, payroll contributions, event sponsorships, in-kind expertise and products, and fair trade product sourcing. For their part, our partners tell us that these social impact investments have contributed to higher morale and greater employee retention. I am truly honored to present our 2024 Corporate Impact Award today to US Synthetic. Eric, will you please join me? The relationship between Choice Humanitarian and US Synthetic dates back to 1998, when Lewis Pope first took his family on an expedition to Mexico. I assume that's your pop.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. And you were on that expedition.
I was.
Okay. On that expedition, Lewis saw how Choice helped fulfill US Synthetic's mission to improve lives. He decided that he wanted to provide an opportunity for his employees to have the same experience that he and his family had just had. A short time later, and in partnership with Choice, Lewis was instrumental in setting up Yahoo Microfinance in Kenya, an institution that has served over 35,000 clients across 15 offices. US Synthetic has organized expeditions and encouraged employees to take part, both by helping offset the costs and by allowing some of the time to count as work hours. The pandemic aside, US Synthetic has done a yearly expedition for nearly 20 years and has developed excellent leadership training modules, which they often share with community members on those expeditions. Perhaps their most impressive contribution, though, is through their payroll giving program. More than 180 employees choose to donate to Choice each month as a payroll deduction, and I believe it's as little as $2.50. Talk about a ripple effect. And they have to date contributed over $700,000. So it is with immense pleasure and gratitude that Choice Humanitarian presents US Synthetic with our 2024 Corporate Impact Award. Please join me once again for thanking and congratulating Eric Pope, who's the VP of Operations at US Synthetic.
Thank you, Teresa. Anyway, it's an honor and a privilege to be here. I got to stand over here because I stand in front of these guys. They're going to heckle me the whole time. Anyway, first of all, it's a privilege for me to be here and accept this award on behalf of US Synthetic and my daddy who couldn't be here. Landon let me know that I was the fifth choice to be here to receive this award, but I'll take it. I'm glad to be doing it. Again, my dad, Lewis, who started us all on this, the founder of US Synthetic, sends his regards and his love. I'm sure many of you know him, have relationships with him, and he wished he could be here today. I just want to take a little moment, just talk a little bit about, the ripple effect within our company, really starting with my dad. What is, it started at one point for us and has continued to spread. And I want to talk a little bit about what it's done, what we've done, and why it continues to ripple out and go on forever. My dad, but let me take one step back. One of our philosophies at US Synthetic is this idea of everyone's got to be a problem solver. We believe we can make the world a better place if everybody can see problems every single day relative to any dimension or any aspect of their life. And so we encourage problem solving. And one of the critical dimensions, if you will, relative to problem solving is this idea if you have to be able to see first. Once you see, then you can start the problem solving process. So my dad was telling me a little bit about his journey and how he got to the point of U-aesthetic and how his ripple effect started. He had the opportunity to grow up, at least his junior high years, in Iran. His dad was asked to go start up an oil refinery and a chemical engineering program there. And so he packed up his family from Utah, went from this comfortable world to a completely different world that they'd ever imagined. They lived there for 3 years and as a family had a remarkable experience. And they speak very fondly of the people, the culture, and just everything about it. I've never heard anything negative spoken of that country, and from him and my grandparents. And what he said is when he was there as a junior high age kid, Shiloh, you're in high school, right? So just a little younger than Shiloh. He's there and he's in Iran. He's able to see some things there. He's to travel around the world. And what he sees is he sees poverty. It's the first time he's grew up in Utah, goes to a different part of the world, and he sees poverty, and it weighs on him. And I think until you see it, feel it, smell it, you really don't get it. And so as a kid, he saw this, and that's when his problem-solving process began. Is he saw people with great needs. And so he thought, I've got to do something about that. One of the things that we know is that when people see problems, they naturally start to activate their minds to do problem solving. They want to contribute. They want to participate, but it requires us to see first. And so he saw, and his mind started to activate. He says, I got to figure out what I can do to help the people that I saw. So in time, he goes through his career, he starts up U-Synthetic, it starts to make some money in the early 90s, and he starts thinking, I got to do something with my wealth. This money's coming now. What am I going to do with it? And immediately his mind goes back to those images that he saw as a young kid of people who were suffering. And he says, I've got to go help people of the world to eliminate poverty. And so he's trying to find ways of doing it. I think he met Dr. Mayfield, really early on. I think you introduced him to Choice, and he says, this is an organization that I think we can do some good with. And so it was actually late 97. He scheduled an expedition and took our whole family down there. It was right after Christmas. We spent the new year into 98 in Mexico. And that's when we were introduced to that first brick machine I've ever seen. We packed up our tents and our sleeping bags. We camped in the village. My whole family went. I'd been married just for 6 weeks. And my younger brother had just got home from his honeymoon, and they went on the trip. So it was just all these new in-laws, and we were all in Mexico. We didn't know what we were getting into, and it was a remarkable experience, and it changed our lives forever. And certainly, it's this ripple effect. He started with what he saw early on. He took his children to see as well. Now we've seen, we've felt, and now we want to do something. So, I got brother-in-laws here that, I ended up moving to Kenya and creating a career around this. 2 of my brother-in-laws and sisters did that. My dad ended up, moved to Kenya, did some work there. But we saw so many needs, not just, poverty, but we saw healthcare needs. We saw water needs. We saw problem-solving needs. We saw people that just need jobs and commerce and enterprise. There were just, the more we could see, the more our minds spun on what could be done. And Lewis, this ripple effect spread to his friends and his coworkers. We have a lot of coworkers that are represented here that saw problems. We got a bunch of engineers that had done a lot of engineering projects, from a coconut oil press to brick machines to a water well drill, just a lot of engineering. We take the things that we knew and the talents and the skills that we had, and we're trying to apply them to the needs that we saw in the world. And this ripple effect just kept going and going. In fact, I'd like to know, just by raise a hand, how many people have associated with U-Synthetic in some form? I just want to see the ripple effect, just of who's had some association with U-Synthetic. So again, there's quite a few in this room that, our partnerships over time, we value them, we appreciate you, and you've made a big difference in our lives. But, one thing that, as we saw these problems and our minds were activated, and we started to solve them in a lot of different ways, one thing that was clear, if I think, why does it keep going? One is, it's fun to solve problems. One, to help people. But one trip we went on, I think this was maybe 15 years ago. Again, it was back to Mexico. It was my daughter. I took my daughter. She was probably about maybe 10 years old at the time. Here she is, maybe 8 years old. We went to Mexico, and wonderful trip. And at the end of the trip, I don't know if they still do this, but they give you a card. It's kind of a note to yourself, right? And I remember getting that card. They're saying, write a note to yourself so that you can read that and remember what you saw, remember what you felt, remember what you did, because that, again, it'll be a catalyst for you to continue in this. And I remember thinking about, what should I write to myself? And Shiloh, as she's speaking up here, reminded me exactly what I wrote, what I was thinking, and that was I wanted my children. I wanted my children to see the world. I wanted them to see poverty. I want them to see suffering. I wanted them to see need. Why? Because I want them to participate. I want them to participate in lifting people up. And as we did that, as my daughter was with me, it did create that spark. She's been to Peru, Jordan, Panama, Kenya, all these places because she has this deep connection to people. And I think the reason why this keeps going is because when we see need, we connect to people, we see how beautiful they are, how wonderful they are. We build this general respect and love for individuals. And I thought, I want my children to respect the people of the world. I want them to see their goodness. I want divisiveness and contention to go away. I want you to lift others. I want that to be the pattern in your life and the lives of all of us, because that will make the world a better place. And that's what I want. And that's why it continues. And that's why we have all these, all of my good co-workers at US Synthetic, why they keep giving. They just keep giving out their paycheck because they want to participate in this. And I believe that this idea of just connecting with people, loving them, serving them, lifting them, just respecting our differences, ultimately, it just makes the world a better place. So I appreciate all of you for all you're doing, all of our partnerships. This is a wonderful organization to be part of, and I appreciate this award. In behalf of you, we welcome it, and we look forward to work with all of you in the future. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Eric. And I love the emotion that you felt from Eric. I would like to see by a show of hands, how many here have been involved with Choice with family members? It changes people. And I think that's the reason why there are so many people that have been associated with Choice for so many years, is because it changes us. It changes us for the better. And I would venture to say that some of the world's greatest humanitarians are in this room. So thank you so much, Eric. We appreciate you so very much and all that you do. It doesn't matter if you're wealthy or if you donate $2.50 a paycheck. It makes a difference. It causes a ripple effect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much to all our speakers, Kirk, Misty, Lisa, Shiloh, and Eric. Truly inspired by your remarks today, so thank you so much. Today we've heard many examples of what it can mean to be part of a ripple effect. It was great to hear the passion, right, from these small actions years ago to make these great waves today. Outstanding corporate partners like dōTERRA and US Synthetic fund vital field projects and engage their employees in that monthly payroll giving. Expeditioners like Lisa and Shiloh, and Eric and the family and all the US Synthetic team and everybody else in this room who's been on an expedition embark on life-changing journeys of compassion and connection. And events like this one unite us in our shared passion for humanity. All of our speakers have graciously provided support for Choice's mission, just as so many of you in this room have too. To learn more about events, upcoming trips, how to get your company involved, stop by the booth on your way out. Plenty to talk about. Every action makes a difference. Every dollar makes an impact. Across all of our focus areas, whether it's addressing the water crisis, food insecurity, or economic inequality. Choice is moving the needle in the fight against poverty. As one of our country coordinators, I talk with Choice country directors and field teams every week. They share with me updates, progress, obstacles, and wins. I hear the stories and have seen with my own eyes the communities that have been transformed. Parents who can feed their kids, children attending school for the first time, individuals who have hope in the face of difficult circumstances. Choice's work continues. At the end of last year, Choice faced some somber circumstances. There were a lot of unknowns as to whether we could continue our critical mission. Difficult decisions were made, which included a painful reduction of dedicated headquarters and global staff. When things felt most dire, our passionate donor community buoyed us up and gave us the runway we needed to make the necessary changes to not only let Choice survive, but with your continued support, sustainably thrive. In addition to major contributions from corporate partners, our most reliable funding has come from the steady monthly donations from payroll giving and the disruptors, Choice's community of committed monthly donors. These donations contribute $17,000 a month. That's $200,000 a year, with an average individual donation of just $30. That is the power of a ripple effect. Hundreds of small donations every month that can result in tremendous impact. And now imagine if that impact were doubled. If our monthly donors tripled, how many more people could be helped? How many more lives could be changed? Because of your generosity, Choice has emerged with greater resilience and sharper focus. Because of you, we can continue to serve hundreds of communities around the world. Together, we can continue to impact for good. So, today, on World Water Day, do you want to be part of a ripple effect? You remember Gandhi? Here he is, collecting water from this watering hole. Watch as he takes each step to reach life's most basic need. He walks with duty, with responsibility, with necessity. How does seeing this make you feel? Can you imagine living in this situation? For me, I am simply not okay with this. It's impossible for me to just sit idly by in the face of such desperation and suffering. Do you feel the same way? If so, let's do something about it. With $20,000, we can bring clean water to Ngandi and the 5,000 individuals in the communities around Peku. And $20,000 is the ripple effect that we hope this room can help us raise in the next few minutes. And you can take that step and make that choice to disrupt global poverty right now by making a donation. So I do want to take a quick moment for each of us to pull out our phones. And I'm watching, at least pretend. Pull out your phones. Scan the QR code. It's on your program. It's on the screen. I'll do it with you guys. Okay. Camera app, QR code, open the link. What will $20,000 do? It will help expand a simple yet innovative reservoir system which will double the amount of available clean water. This will be a catalyst in the area that will lead to additional local government funding to establish water collection points for families to get clean and safe drinking water. That water will also be used for troughs for animals and agriculture, which will expand the scope of the project. This is an example of a fundamental principle of choice. Our ability to leverage your generous donations with local partners that multiply the impact of each and every contribution. So if you still haven't, I saw a lot of action, scan that QR code and help make a wave. If each of us in this room, I'm looking at all of you, donated $100, we could fund this project immediately. Bang. And we could hit our $20,000 goal. And if you look on the little donation screen, if you click that monthly button, you can join that community of the disruptors, which has the collective power to fund a system like that each and every month. That is a ripple effect. And to show our appreciation, you may have seen we have membership gifts available here today for new members and members who increase their monthly donation. You can learn more about it here on the screen and pick those up at the booth in the hallway. The dam that Umgandi uses has water today, but it will soon likely run dry in Kenya's prolonged drought. In fact, the second dam in Peku already has, forcing community members to walk an additional 3 to 4 hours for water. As you consider making a donation or becoming a disruptor to help us reach this goal, we'd like to show you a video from our Choice Kenya team member, Pauline, who recently visited the second dam.
Hi people, we are at Nyenzeni. We are in a place called Peku Dam. Literally, this is how I look. This is how hot this place is. Just see, this place is totally dry. This was a dam, but now they do not have water because it's so dry, literally very dry. Oh my goodness. It's a dam without water. So bad.
This is the stark reality that Umgandi and his neighbors face every day. Clean water, which is so ordinary, available, and easy for us, is scarce to non-existent for them. But with your help, we're changing this. We can walk away from this event today, just a few minutes, knowing that thousands of lives around Peku will be changed. And I just can't think of a better way to honor World Water Day. Now, not everyone may be in a position to make a sizable donation. For those of you who are, though, please do, okay? There are dozens of similar projects and communities in every country that Choice operates in that are just ready and waiting, but are needing our funding. Some can give more, some can give less, but all of us can give something. Every dollar makes a difference. This is what it means to disrupt global poverty. To look at seemingly unsolvable problems and refuse to stand to the side. To take action that will make a difference in spite of difficult circumstances. As we work together, small ripples turn into large waves that change lives. Thank you for being here with us this morning. And thanks again to our generous hosts, Kirk, Misty, the entire dōTERRA team. Please feel free to linger, mingle, connect with your fellow humanitarians. Thank you, and have a great day.